Previously on Ignitor Forever.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Ignitor SMP! You guys may have heard, big things are happening.
So you had a bit of a business proposition for me.
Yes, I have a bit of a business venture for you. My idea is we open a shelf shop / advertising agency.
We got started with that before by building our fancy pants cheap hotel here. As you can see, we've got more than 10 shulkers of each colour of wool coming out of this thing. So we need the shelves, and to get the shelves we need to be able to strip logs. And so we decided we were going to build a gigantic blast chamber to feed the logs in that we strip, and use piston feed tapes to move things around, whilst also making this useful for other material types like the cobblestone, stone and basalt that we could also generate here.
Oh my goodness, that's impressive.
Now let's pick up where we left off. Hello gamers! My name is Dark and welcome back to Ignitor Forever. So, Blast Chamber has been going swimmingly and we have used it for its intended purpose. We have now got stripped versions of almost all of the logs, actually all of the logs that we need to do, and they should all be in storage. So they got blown up and put here automatically, so we should, that's pretty full. Yeah, we should see a whole bunch of stripped oak. Should see a whole bunch of spruce, birch, etc. all the way down the line. So we should have a whole bunch of stripped everything in storage. Fantastic. I did notice as well, because we did a fair bit of cobble to push stuff through, that a lot of cobble came through here. I think what's going on is the item filter in bulk storage over here is getting overwhelmed because there's just a single channel item filter for each thing, and the blast chamber blows things up and we get like 3 stacks of material coming down the road all at once. That makes sense because that would mean with one item filter it can take a stack, and probably like 1 in every 3 stacks is basically getting picked up by the item filter. So as I see it, we have 2 options. We could either put in a throttle of some kind where we collect the items in some form of storage and then just slowly dispense them out, or quickly dispense them out. Option 2 would be that we actually dedicate several of these hoppers in this filter to each item, 3 for example, so we could get to triple hopper speed all going into a single shulker box loader. The problem with that is I would probably lose, with cobble and stone and basalt, I would lose 7 channels in bulk storage that I could be using for other items. So I think I'm going to prefer the throttle solution here. So we'll look into that later, fix that, because we're going to need it for the other items that we're probably going to be funneling down the same bulk storage collection system later on today en masse. In the meantime, we have our shop that we're making with Dippy, and she's come up with a fantastic design for the shop, and as the brawns behind the operation, she's asked me to collect some materials for us. That's what we've done here. We've got a whole bunch of materials and some coloured shulkers, and the last thing we need to do is make all of the shelves using all of these logs that we have now stripped. So we need to make ourselves a little auto crafting shelf doohickey, which I need to have a little home. It's just going to be a itty bitty little device, just maybe down here, out of the way. We've got like little things like our little concrete station here. Maybe you just stick something in this little corner. So let's do a little bit of redstone on camera, shall we? So we got this guy, and the recipe is strip logs top and bottom, like so. We only want it to power when we have an equivalent power source next door. So there'll be this many logs in. When it gets that many, we want this to power, so we'll have a signal coming out the back. We could do this, right? So only when that gets powered. That's going to work. So then hoppers. We could do this. We could do double hopper speed and put the chest on top. Okay, that should be all we need to do. Let's go get us some stripped logs and give it a quick test. So by putting in stripped logs here, this should fill up and should be spitting out crafted shelves. Look at that. Pretty sweet. I wonder if we can get it 3 times. Three times would mean we need this space to be able to do this. How would we get it 3? Boat with a chest? Okay, so if we did this, probably gonna need a block to place the boat. Let's break that. The boat goes across all 3. Let's just check the hitboxes. Yep, we'll probably go back a little. But now we just need to get the power down to here. Okay, so we do this. We're now powering up from underneath. That should be fast. Alrighty, so we get in here, we hop in, we do this. Nice. And let's just put a shulker box right in front of it, right? Put all those directly in there. That should fill up pretty quick. That is a super dangerous on-camera bit of redstone. Make ourselves as fast as we can, little shelf maker. So what we're going to do is come down here with a whole bunch of stripped logs, different material types, put them in there, and we should be good. Alright, that's our last shulker. So now we have shelves and shelves and shelves, like half a shulker of each one, basically. Plenty enough to get us going. However, I am missing one, and that is a bamboo. I realized, although I have wood farms, all the tree types, bamboo, they're bamboo. We've never made a bamboo farm. And we're going to need to strip these. These guys need to be stripped into those. And those make the shelves. Yes. Okay. So what we need to do is take what we've got of all of that. I'm guessing, yeah, we can just put it in the stripper. Same way we did with everything else. But we do need a more renewable source of this. This is going to get us only so far. Kaboom! Okay. I was just using stone generators, the basalt here, just to push through last of that bamboo. Wait for that to stop safely. Double check we got all of the wood. Looks like we did. And that should all be ending up in storage right over here. Nice bamboo shells flying in. Oh, I think I forgot to mention earlier, I doubled up on these things just to speed things up because, you know, it is such a simple design. Only took another 60 seconds to make another one. Okay, that should be enough bamboo shells for the minute. We can pick up all the rest of these and take all of these shelves along with all of the other materials upstairs over to Dippy. Ready for the shop build. Oh, there she is.
Hello. Hello. Hi. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
It is the new year.
Our shop.
Our shop. Yes. So I hear you've come up with a fantastic design. You sent me some screenshots of. It looks amazing.
I don't know how fantastic it is, but it is quite kind of, you know, it's in keeping with the mall design. It's black and white mostly. And oh my god. What is all this? What is all this?
This is me being busy.
Did you get everything? Because I just marked the things that I needed. I have every. We can
Yeah,
do 2
everything.
shops now.
Yeah. This is everything on the list.
I only wanted you to get the shelves and the banners.
No.
Oh my god!
This is everything. So
Okay,
yeah,
that's
in
fair.
these front 2 shulkers are all the materials you should need to build the shop. You asked for a bunch of coloured shulker boxes, which are all in this barrel. And then across the back wall we have stock. So across the bottom are all the shelves and all the wood types, and then we've got the banners at the ends, which are white and black.
Look what I got! I only asked you to get the banners and the shelves because
Well, they're
you
at the
have,
back there.
factories.
There you go. Look at that.
Yeah. Well, if I run out of anything, you know, I've got double.
Oh, great. Okay, you've got a lot of the material already. I didn't realize you were doing that.
Yeah. No. I didn't want you to get everything. I just wanted you to get the bits that you have the factories for. Oh,
Yeah,
never
well,
mind.
you know.
I just wanted to do something so that I don't owe you so much.
Yeah, no,
Because
you're doing the shop design.
but you're providing all the stock. So once I've built everything, well, I suppose I'll still have to.
Well, we'll have to
I'll
see how
still
much we
have to
sell, I
make the
guess.
banners, and I still have to, do customer relations and run the shop.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
will
yeah,
I
yeah.
be the?
You're the head of the design agency, so you're taking.
So you are supplies, and I'm retail.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so are you my boss then?
No, we're partners.
Okay, cool,
Yeah.
amazing. Okay. So many banners. This is insane. Why do they only stack up to 16? That's just stupid.
They're so expensive to make and only stack to 16. It's a really bizarre block.
Yeah.
It must be one of those really old decisions from long ago, which, if they made
Yeah.
the same decisions today, they would probably make different ones.
All those lovely, lovely shelves. I'm in love
Yep.
with shelves, by the way.
Great.
Thank you so much
There's
for doing
roughly
all
half a
this, because-
shulker of each. I need to go make a bamboo farm next because I realised I don't have one of those. So
Okay,
by doing
cool.
so, I'll be getting a lot more bamboo.
Well, I will start building then.
Cool.
I will start building.
Okay,
Cool.
look forward to
Thank
seeing
you
it
so much.
completed, and we'll come and
Yeah.
have our first experience once we come to the grand
Yeah.
opening. Now, bamboo farm. I've built the one I want to build before. It is an Il Mango design. Surprise, surprise. Il Mango, absolute classic. I miss that guy. And yeah, we built one on Newcraft. And so I booted up a copy of the Newcraft world here in a single player. And it looks like I logged out at the perimeter, where I've got a couple of farms, copper and slime there. And we need to make our way back to our mega base in this world. For those of you who've been watching my channel for a long time, Newcraft was a server of my own that I started up with some friends, of whom I was the only content creator. But yeah, that was probably 3 years ago, nearly at this point, that we wrapped up that world. And I just remembered we got this guy here as well. This is a Dolphin's Grace tunnel, and it goes on all the way back to my base to get easy access between my base and this place. So let's hop into survival here and see if this still works as intended. There we go. So we go to swim mode and then we sprint. Oh my goodness, that's fun. Swim and sprint. Man, it's been a long time since I've been in this world. I love this world. Yes. Bulk storage. Oh wow, I missed this world. This was a great place. We did some amazing stuff in here. How do I get back up? It's here, right? It should take me back up. Yay, to the main storage room. Wow, this looks different with the shulker mod. How awesome. And Harlock's village. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And our alien village. Yes. Look at that. Anyway, we're going down a trip down memory lane here. Let's have a little quick look at the outside of the base, actually, just to have a check out of my Aztec temple with my Jethro the Cat statue at the top. Oh man, still looks awesome. Ah, here we go. There's some stairs coming down, and this is the bamboo farm. Quite the sizable thing. Let's have a look at this underneath. It is huge, and it generates an insane amount of bamboo relatively quickly. So yeah, we're going to hop over to a creative world and experiment with this, but this just wanted to check that this is the thing. I wanted to check the size of it, and using the size of this thing, we can see if it's actually going to fit in our base, or if we need to go with something a little different. Alright, this is Il Mango's download for his farm in a separate world, and I've just been playing with some storage solutions because it didn't come with any. So I've just copied it over and put in place something I haven't tried using before, which is these 6 times shulker loader doohickeys. Because my last farm in Newcraft, I think I had 3 or 4 shulker loaders and just a loop. I've done the loop again, but I want to check on the capacity of these guys and if they can handle all of the bamboo that's going to come out of this farm, basically, at the rates it's going to be coming out, and if 6 times shulker loading speed, it's going to work. So there's just basically an item filter on top, and then you've got this kind of funky shulker loading system. Now there's a third one there. Okay, that's how it does it. There's a third line in the center. So there's 3 dropper chains all pumping out at double hopper speed into the shulker. That makes sense. Okay. And then we'll get our broken shulkers out in here, empty shulkers go in here, so we can automate more of that later. I just want to make sure this has got the capacity for it, and I've designed this water stream system. So any items coming along should come along here. They get caught by this bar, depending on which way around they go, they'll go across, and if they don't get picked up the first round, they'll get picked up the second round. That's the idea. Okay, let's turn her on and see if it works. And by memory, this flying machine is sort of going to assemble itself, be pushed along and down, and minecarts are going to be dispensed from here and fly up from these bubble columns and land on top. Hence the name Jumping Minecart Design. Whoa, there you go, look at that. Absolutely wild. The idea being that you can just leave this thing running, and this will mostly regrow by the time it's on its way back. 3 and a bit stacks, and then they get yeeted. Flying machine reassembles itself. Let's see how we do with our storage system and all of these items. Wow, that's going, you can hear it, but it definitely didn't pick up everything. Look at that. Let's see if it does it in time before this thing comes back. No, it is coming back. Here we go. There just was a bit of a delay for it to rejigger itself and turn around. So the question is, are we going to get rid of all of this before the next round of stuff comes in this side? And yeah, I don't think that's going to be the case. All those minecarts get yeeted, all of the drops come out. We're going to end up with something like 64 stacks of stuff coming out here, rejoining all of this. And oh boy, we're going to need a bigger boat. Okay, so we just doubled this up. So we've got 6 6x shulker loaders, which is 36, the equivalent of 36 shulker loaders. Let's see if this can handle it. Let's go 10x. And we're out before it's even come back. Okay. That seems to be working really well. Now, bamboo, limited uses. Obviously, you can make bamboo blocks and sticks. So it might be a good way to get sticks, but I think for the time being, we're just going to craft all of this into bamboo blocks. All right, so we've come now over to a creative version of the Ignitor server. It's a little bit older. You can see our blast chamber experiments behind us there, and we need to find somewhere to put this farm in this world that's going to suit. And I think I have found the ideal place. Underground, of course. I mean, we're already underground, but more underground. Down here. Here we go. So I've found a space that I've cleared out, and there are a few. This is chosen just because it's sort of directly under the base, but also because there are quite a few big caves here. It doesn't interfere directly with anything that I might need to put around up here. And yeah, there are quite a few caves, so I don't need to dig out absolutely everything in order to make this happen. And I've tried to reverse fill a lot of the airspace, just only dig out what is necessary. And I've changed my approach to how to use this system. So instead of this just shulker loading, it's now auto crafting. So in place of the shulker loader, we have put this auto crafter. So we should be getting 6x times hopper speed into this guy. Boom. Bamboo will go into there, and yeah, we have our compare source right next to it. So as soon as it fills up, it crafts and spits it out into a water stream, and they all do this along here. So we ended up with crafted blocks of bamboo being spat out, and I've put that into another water stream that goes up here, and that in turn connects to the existing water stream from our blast chamber, which is right here in the world, and that goes off into storage. Okay, I added a central AFK spot with a remote on-off switch because I'm a little worried about this thing remaining loaded, and added a whole bunch of lighting to make sure we've got sufficient light levels for the bamboo to grow. Let's give this thing a little whirl and ensure that the storage system works as intended. Down comes the flying machine, up pop the mine carts, And we've got a pretty full harvest here. Let's see how this pans out. Okay, flying machine docks. Minecarts get yeeted. A whole bunch of bamboo comes flying down here. And the autocrafter should kick into gear. And we should have a pretty continuous stream of blocks coming. We can just get a look at what the speed looks like in here. 6 times hopper speed, stuff flowing in, getting crafted real quick. And timesing that by 6 gives us like at least 3 bamboo blocks per second. Maybe 4, 5, I don't know. Quite a lot. And this stuff just does the rounds, goes around and around in a circle. And let's just triple check it all gets processed by the time the other flying machine comes by. It should do. Let's speed up the game. Okay, second batch is just incoming, just as the first is about to be finished. That's fine. I imagine by the time this comes back, once we have a second run of a partial full crop, that this will all be dealt with. Yeah, we're pretty much out of items here, and that flying machine is yet to finish its return journey. So we're just going to get the new batch coming in just as that one is finished. Perfect. Look at that. Absolutely wonderful. Now, the other thing I wanted to check was if our storage system is actually receiving all these items, because it's all coming down here. It's all chunk loaded. So everything should be getting caught up here. We've put in a throttle device right here. Doesn't appear to be enough for the bamboo. But the throttle device is working. Look, we're not overwhelming this one that we put in place. That's great. But we probably need a couple more hoppers because I think every one of these is totally full. Okay, we'll experiment with that a little bit. So we're putting a good run of hoppers there. That should be plenty. Yeah, well, the throttling is working. It should be fine for the blast furnace. And this little extension here should be fine for the bamboo. Okay, so the last thing we need to figure out is digging this gigantic hole that we need to create here for this farm to exist. And that, I think, we're going to solve with this. This is a tunnel bore. It is a very long tunnel bore, and this is another real mango design. I don't like playing around with these things because they're so finicky. So this is actually quite a bit longer than the hole that's needed because, man, these are difficult to modify and chop up. It's not straightforward. I want to avoid doing that if I can, so I'll just build it a bit. I'll build it bigger than we need it, and we're going to end up with a hole bigger than we need. But by putting it roughly here, we should take out the major part of this that we want to remove, which is going to be from like here all the way up to here at the very least. And then we can dig out a little bit of the extra ceiling and floor space as needed manually, but this will do the majority of the work for us in a lot less time. So I think we have everything we need from our creative explorations. So now we can hop back into survival and make sure that we actually execute on this. Uh-oh. Oh no. What a disaster. I just saw that happen. I've been and picked up some of the pieces. And yep, it loaded up. That's really disappointing. I think what happened is it just wasn't loaded. I completely forgot about the simulation distance on the server. Because we use mods like Bobby and such, like we only have a render distance of 7 and the simulation distance of 8 chunks here. And I think this is way longer. Let me just count. 9, 10. 10 chunks wide. Yep, so it's at least 2 chunks longer than the server can handle. And basically from here over to here, and even this end one here, got unloaded because of where I was standing at the very far end of this thing, which is what's required to operate it. And kaboom! Okay. I also didn't put this on camera, but I have already built 80% of this thing twice. There's multiple obsidian stop blocks, 3. I thought there was only 2. I forgot about the third one, and I activated this thing with that stop block in place, and yeah, it messed the whole thing up, and I had to dismantle 80% of it and rebuild it, which wasn't in that time lapse. So I've already almost built this thing twice. Now I'm just going to have to redesign it, shrink it a little bit to make sure it fits well within the 8 chunk limit, and yeah, try again, I guess. So annoyingly, that end of things is intact. This end of things is blown up, and I can't just shrink it down to here, because then I'm going to have all of this land that I need to take away. I need this edge over here to be the trailing edge. If only I was operating it from this side of things, maybe things would be better. Hey ho, server life, I guess. So I'm just going to dismantle this whole thing and build it once more. Okay, smaller tunnel bore. Now constructed, and I can run it from either end, and I should be able to do so without interruption. That's how much spare room we have left. Good few chunks. I am very quickly just going to triple check the chunks that everything is in. Yes, it comfortably fits within 7 chunks, which is great. I'm going to stay close to this thing. I'm going to sort out my inventory, and yeah, we're going to start making a bigger hole. Can you believe it? Everything seemed to be going pretty well, inching it forwards, but then I noticed, you see this TNT, like the third one across, just wasn't firing, and I couldn't figure out why. So I took a little bit of a closer look, and silly me, I put the coral fan in the wrong way. Yeah, it should be on the base, and I put it on the side of the slime block there, so it didn't show up in the verifier. After I'd spotted the problem, I snuck on in there to try and fix it, but I completely forgot I needed to unpower the activator rail with the rail car above first, because obviously the movement of the fan against TNT is what duplicates it. And oh, it got set off, and kapow, yeah, boom, there goes my totem right next to the TNT. A cascade TNT reaction just started going off. Boom, boom, boom. I was trying to stop it, and then it got me. I died. And I think my death was probably the only thing that actually prevented this from destroying the entire machine. No! I don't believe it. It happened again. So we've built this 3 times. This will be time number 4. It was going so well. We got all the other things right. But I'm going to try and take a schematic of this thing, because its build state isn't the same as the armed state. So I'm going to try taking a second schematic of this in its armed state and see if I can salvage much of this build. Otherwise, the whole thing's got to come down and they've got to start again. Oh my goodness. We are not having a lot of luck today. Alright, fourth time. Testing building this thing. It was actually possible to put it back together in its active state. There didn't seem to be too many gotchas with doing that, so yeah, let's give it a go and hope this is in operation. Before I do, I'm going to remove a couple of those problematic blocks that weren't getting blown up before. I am going to do one final check of all of the coral fans and just make sure the ones I just replaced are all in the correct orientation. Okay, I'm going to do one more test here. Don't blow up. Something went wrong there. Something went wrong there. One of the TNT... Oh, look, something's gone wrong here. And some of the machines blown up. Okay, we've got some fixing to do again. My best guess with what happened in that last little hiccup is perhaps I didn't remove a few blocks from the ceiling and maybe the TNT was clipping through something. I don't know. Either way, everything's fixed now and it's running smoothly. Oh my word, what a build that was. That was absolutely enormous, huge, took forever, lots of finicky details, and I'll take you through how it went right now. And we're going to take the machine on its first test run, see if we can get ourselves some bamboo. Alright, so things that have changed over here. We installed a buffer for the amount of bamboo that's going to be coming in. So we have 6-7 hoppers worth of storage going into a dropper right there that is powered whenever there's something in this hopper. So we'll have a little pulse extender, got a observer clock in here with a sticky piston that's going to be powered. So whenever there's stuff coming from out there, it's going to back up, and that'll help us with the stone problem we were having. You know, our filters are getting overwhelmed with the sheer volume of stuff coming through. That should make it a little bit more viable for most of it to get picked up. Now the question is this going to handle the amount of bamboo coming through? Because it's quite a lot. We are crafting it to blocks, so it's 9 times less than in terms of items the farm is producing, and it's being spat out at a reasonable rate. But yeah, I guess we'll find out. We need to see how well that does. What I have done, because I think it is going to overwhelm it, I have set 2 columns here to be bamboo. So this second hopper chain here has a bamboo filter in, so 2 channels, and they both go into the single shulker box to load it up fast, and those will appear right there. So we're going to have to run the machine a couple of times, see if that's going to cope. If not, we may need to shulker load everything on site and then bring the shulkers over bit by bit. So yeah, let's go take a look at the machine itself. So for the time being, while I was working on this, I did put in a way inside my mud farm here to be able to get down. We've got a water elevator that we've been using to get to and from this whole thing. And here she is. So after all that bad luck with the tunnel bore, it did eventually allow us to create the hole that was needed. And boy, it's a big hole. It goes all the way back there, and the whole farm is in place and ready to be tested for the first time. Let's fly over to the other side. You can see just how big this is. It's enormous. And here is the tunnel bore at the very far end, where we paused it. This thing is big, and having had the issues we had with the simulation distance on the server with the tunnel bore, will have a very similar effect with this farm, because it's something like 7 chunks by 10 chunks at least, and the flying machine needs to stay loaded at all times. So I extended the on-off switch from way over there all the way to in here, and this is going to be my little AFK spot, and this is bang in the middle of the farm right here. So as long as I stay here, me being the player should keep the whole thing loaded at all times, regardless of what's happening on the server. But out of an absolute abundance of caution, I chunk loaded the whole thing. So I stuck in 9 new chunk loaders. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There is one there. 6, 7, 8, 9. And between all of those, everything is being loaded very effectively. So each chunk loader loading a 3x3. We need to make sure, because there's entities involved, we can't rely on it being a 5x5. It needs to be like a 3x3 to get the entity processing working and everything else. And then finally the storage. So yeah, we've got the six times filters with going into autocrafters. So we have 6 autocrafters crafting at 6 speed, 6 times hopper speed, all spitting out into this water stream and going into storage. And that should go right into the same water stream here that we have connected up to the blast chamber, and that all goes to where we just were. And we're going to test now whether that's actually going to work or not, or whether it's going to completely overload the storage back at base. We shall see. So here we go. Let's hope our luck was a little bit better here. I have double-checked, triple-checked everything in this time around, and been super precautious, overcautious perhaps, with the loading, so we shouldn't encounter the same issues we had with the tunnel war there. Okay, here we go. Wish me luck. And yoink. Yes, we have flight. The machine is moving. It appears to be staying loaded. I am fully expecting to see some visual glitching of some kind here as this gets a little farther away from us in particular. But look at this, it seems to be working. This is great. Okay, well this is step 1. It needs to get all the way to the end, dock, unload, and when the timer here goes off, it should come back the other way. Let's see how we do. Definitely a little bit of glitchiness. The server seems to be coping. Ooh, we have bamboo. Stupendous. Here it comes. Into the crafters. We should. There we go. We're getting blocks coming out already. There's 6 crafters pumping out at this speed. Look at all those bamboo blocks just flowing in. Oh, it's glorious. Okay. Whoop. The flying minecarts all get mounted and it's coming back for the return journey. This is looking great. We just need to make sure that this is coping okay. So we're just going to wait for the next batch to come in. This is already diminishing quite a lot. Okay, the next batch of bamboo is coming in and this isn't completely gone. That's fine. It should all be processed by the time this comes back, if everything here is doing its job. Ooh, this crafter's not firing anymore. Neither is this one. Okay, the machine is safely docked. Let's get down to our crafters, see what is going on. Okay, just in a creative copy here again, just testing out what's going on with this thing, and as best as I can tell, the item filter goes off, which stops the pulsing of all of the droppers and stuff without enough of a delay, and then these droppers just fill up, back up, and then they can't take any more items, and the whole thing just kind of grinds to a halt. So my solution has just been to remove this clock and connect it more directly up to this with a bit of a pulse extender. So that's what I've done. I've just put this as an observer clock, and I mean, you could just leave this on permanently and walk away, but that's not how I roll. So instead, yeah, when there's a signal here, this comes all the way down here into this pulse extender, which flips these up and makes the observer clock go. So the clock's a little faster anyway, and then these guys will just pulse. I had to move this down one as well because this torch was affecting the ability for the signal to get into the central dropper as well. So those 2 fixes seem to have made this work. So I'm going to take this concept and put it back in survival. Okay, I think this is now done. It is a little uglier, it's a little clumsy. It uses a few more repeaters and comparators, but it uses a lot less observers, note blocks, and crafters. I was able to tie in the crafter to the same observer clock here, just with a single block of redstone right in there. So this should work. It's time to test it again. Fingers crossed. Let's see if this works. I mean, we know the farm works. It's just whether the storage system works. Yoinkity yoink. Out comes all of the bamboo. Whoop, 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 whoop. In she comes. They all get turned on. They're all crafting like crazy. That looks a lot better. Look at that. Look at the speed of that. Every crafter is going a full whack. So, we are going to let this get this returns, dump off the second load, and then once the flying machine has docked, I can safely move and we can go inspect. Okay, return journey being docked. Fresh batch bamboo. Let's just make sure the flying machine docks properly. No more redstone. It's not going to return because that switch is on. Good. I think we should be safe to come down here and check out what's going on. So all of these should be pumping through. We shouldn't have any mass accumulation of stuff. That's crafting super fast. Yep. Okay, this is awesome. This is a ridiculous amount of bamboo. So there's probably somewhere in the region of 12 blocks of bamboo every second. 10 stacks a minute. Wow, so in an hour, if it is 2 blocks a second, that's 43,200 blocks an hour, or 675 stacks an hour. Final test here is just to make sure when we run out of material, we don't end up with a surplus left in the system, based on the fact that nothing is accumulating and it's all getting processed at the speed it's coming in. I think that should be fine. Nice, all the droppers emptied. That's fantastic news. All right, this thing works. Excellent. Right, so the next thing to check is storage, back a base. How did storage cope with the volume of bamboo blocks entering our item filter that we put in? See, they're still getting pumped out. The filters are picking them up. If 2 filters weren't enough, we would see excess coming through here, which I do not. So the rate at which things are getting picked up is great. Are we losing any? It looks like the buffer was ample, at least for now. We'll need to run the farm for a little longer to determine if that's a big enough buffer, or we need to come up with another solution. This is working. Okay, it took a little while for the buffer there to completely empty, which makes me think if I left the farm running for more than a couple of cycles, that buffer would get completely overwhelmed. Even with the breaks in between the machine passing and blocks getting crafted. So, what did we get out of that? We just ran that once. We got 4 full shulkers and whatever's in the shulker loader there that didn't come out. So at least 4 full shulkers. I think we're probably going to need to come up with a different solution to this. I think we're going to need to shulker load on site and then maybe move the shulkers over and put them directly into this storage channel. That might make more sense going forwards. But that is a problem for another day. For now, we have a bamboo farm. It's working. We can get shulkers and shulkers and shulkers of bamboo blocks really quickly, which is great. And yeah, the purpose of that was so that we have enough material to be able to create stock for the shelf shop with Dippy. It was the one wood material from all of our woods behind us here that we hadn't actually made a farm for, and now it's complete. So let's head over to the mall and check out the shop opening with Dippy, where all of this stock is going to be sold.
Shelf life, it's the only way to go. Shelf life. Yeah.
It's the only life I know.
Shelf life.
Okay, shelf life.
Yeah. So welcome. Doc, you want to come up here?
Do I?
Yes, you do.
Audience.
Welcome
seems a bit shy.
to our new shop. It is the first shop on the server of its kind. It is a 3-in-1 shop. You can
I don't have
buy
any rockets.
shelves made by the excellent Dark Facilities, known for his prime quality wood. So they will be extra good. Yes. All wood types provided. You can buy letter banners for any signage you need. And there is an advertising agency where you can also order custom banners in all color combinations.
Excellent.
That's it.
Whoa.
Cut the ribbon.
I like it.
Snip.
Snip. We've done it. Okay. Right. Come on in.
Yay.
So I took some liberties with the pricing, Doc.
Mhm.
So we agreed on a price of 1 diamond for 16 shelves. because they're quite expensive to make.
Okay.
But I
It's not
thought if
bad.
people want to buy a whole stack, if you're building something and you want to buy a whole stack, I thought maybe kind of 3 diamonds for a stack. Does that sound okay?
That sounds great.
Because that's roughly the price that people
Nice.
pay for a stack of your quality wood. On the other side, you have Let Us Help. Sorry about the pun. It's bad.
There's okay.
Yeah, where you can get your banners. There is a special deal here. It's mix and match because we realize that people don't want to buy a whole stack of I's or O's.
Okay.
So basically, you get the letters that you want, any 3 banners, plus 1 free shelf for only
Whoa.
1 diamond.
Okay.
Ooh.
So if you
Nice.
wanted to write vid, it would cost you 1 diamond because that would be
There we
3
go.
letters on a shelf.
If you want to spell out
Yeah.
supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, it may cost you a bit
That'll
more.
be a bit more expensive,
Yep.
right?
I see.
And then over here is the office where you can place your orders. There's also your trusty ender chest. And you can write your orders in the book.
This is awesome.
Yeah, so that's it. Oh, and
Nice.
look away, guys. Look away, guys. This is just for Dark. Dark, come on here. Dark. Okay.
And they're having secrets from
It's the
us.
backstage.
Wait, it's the backstage. It's the backstage. Okay, and this is the most expensive. This is the best box here. It's got nothing in it yet. I think for good luck, maybe I should just hang on a minute. There you go, Dark. This is for your services. Yeah, you. Yeah. So if we want to restock, we've got a bit of extra back here.
Nice.
Like
Yeah.
it.
So that's it.
Love
That's
it.
that's it.
Great work,
Peek into
Dippy.
the shop by opening
Anything
fantastic.
else?
the trapdoors.
Well, you provided all the goodies.
We are. Shelf life is open for
Brilliant.
business.
Well done.
Shelf life. It's the
Congrats.
only life I know.
Shelf life. Do.
Shelf life.
Oh dear.
Sorry, I started something.
Well done on the shop, Dippy. Looks absolutely fantastic, and thanks for the grand opening. Can't wait to start getting some sales. In the meantime, I have been running this thing for 10 straight cycles, or 5 round trips, just letting it dock, getting the next batch in. Should see the items flowing in. That should all be grand. That's all going to get crafted, moved up, and we're going to see if we've got much of a backlog sitting up here. Because it may be fine. I think the issue is the first batch that we do, the sugarcane is fully grown, and that totally saturates this buffer. But then there's like 3 minutes between each new round of stuff. It takes about a minute to craft a subsequent harvest, which gives about 11 stacks each harvest of bamboo blocks. And it's about 3 minutes in between each. So every 3 minutes, we've got about 11 stacks of these things to move. And yeah, we don't seem to be losing any. This seems to be keeping up. So this is pretty great. Stuff is just flying in. And for now, I don't see any need to change this. And we can check out exactly what we got in store. Look at this. This is just piling up. Absolutely amazing. All right. That was a bit of an epic one. There was a lot of work involved in this episode. It did take quite a while, so I hope you appreciated it. And if you did, please do give us a like. And if you want to see what we get up to next time, then please subscribe. Oh, I've also joined a life series. If you're interested in that, go check out my channel. First episode is out now. See you next time. Bye for now.